So the most powerful thing you can do to achieve your writing dreams is to write them down and then journal about your progress, journal about your setbacks, journal about your emotions on a regular basis so that you keep your life directed toward those goals. So that's what I want to do right here today on YouTube. I'm publishing this particular video in June. So we're at the halfway point of the year. This is a great opportunity to just go deep, get a coffee, spend some time with a pen and paper, and just think about how far you've come and where you want to go. So as a book coach, I get to do this with people on a weekly or monthly basis. And so this is where the big results come from. When you put your goals down on paper and reflect, this is how you finish books. This is how you publish books. This is how you sell books. And this is how you get writing contracts. I know it as well as anybody because I get to watch it happen all the time with my clients. So without further ado, let's dive in and go deep. So question number 1 is, how far have you come? In a journaling session, I think it's so important to start from a positive, celebratory place. Why? Because we have negativity bias. And so we recognize the problems in life without any prompting. We don't need to journal to worry. We will worry, we will be afraid, we will see what's going wrong without any conscious journaling session. So this is where the real power comes in, because this is your opportunity to really celebrate. You know, if you're doing this halfway through the year, what have you accomplished thus far in the first 6 months of the year? What are you proud of? But another thing that is so helpful is to broaden the scope. And so to bring it out even more. What have you accomplished a year, in the last year, in the last 5 years, in the last 10 years? So you can choose the increments, but when you look back, and when you broaden your scope and look at the big picture, this is where hope lives. This is where aspiration lives. This is where motivation lives. Because yes, we're not doing a get rich quick kind of thing here. We don't expect that we're going to win the lottery next week. But when you look at how far you've come over time, then in the coming questions, when we look to the future, our aspirations will be so much bigger because it gives us the time to be able to accomplish more. So question number 1, how far have you come? Question number 2, what is your biggest source of pain and fear? In other words, what's triggering you right now? What's bothering you right now? What has you worried? And so this is so important to just purge on paper. I hope that, between the questions, pause when you need to so you can give yourself the time you need. You might want to listen to the whole thing through and then come back and pause as you do the individual questions. So what is your biggest source of pain or fear? When you can see it and slow it down with your pen so it's not just whirling around in your head and causing you pain and worry, start to just look at it consciously with a pen and let it out onto paper. This is a great place to find solutions. Question number 3 is, what are your greatest dreams and aspirations? So of course, we have the obstacles in our way. We have the things that are triggering us. And next we want to go, so what is the greatest possibility? What's my vision and why? So get specific. What is my writing dream? Do I want to publish a fantasy series? Do I want to get a traditional contract? Why do I want to do this? If my book sales tripled next year, what would that do for my business and my family, etc.? So get really clear on your vision. I update my vision on a regular basis. It doesn't really change that much, but then I print it out and laminate it so that I can go back to it whenever my motivation goes down. So question number 3 is, what are your greatest dreams and aspirations? Question number 4 is wonderful because this is going to show you what's important to you in your life. So question number 4 is, how do your biggest fears, that's question number 2, relate to your grandest aspirations? Question number 3. So now we're taking 2 and 3 and putting them together. How do your biggest fears relate to your biggest desires. So for instance, let's say my biggest fears are financial fears. And so my biggest desire is to be able to spread my message and sell my book, to get more clients, etc., to be able to start to snowball my series so that I have a regular returning income. Let's say that my biggest fears are I'll never finish my book, I'll never get it published, etc. And so my biggest desires are to be able to get that contract, to be able to understand Amazon and start and put my book out there, etc. So when we can get clear about how our biggest fears relate to our biggest desires or aspirations, then we know what's important to us. And then we don't have other things pulling us aside, which is so important for the second half of the year. We don't want to, if we know what's important to us, then we'll start to prioritize our life around us. And then other people won't hijack our life as much. They won't hijack our priorities. We'll finish that book. So that's number 4. And then number 5, once you've visualized what's important to you, then what advice would you give yourself? This is where you get to do a little bit of self-coaching. What's the best idea to go forward? How are you going to accomplish that? How are you going to motivate yourself? How are you going to stay on track? So number 5, I want you to do a little self-coaching. What advice would you give yourself for the second half of the year? And then finally, number 6, what's the most powerful action you could take? So this is where we get into the nitty-gritty. What are you actually going to create as your number 1 goal that nobody can drag you away from for your second half of the year? Sometimes we need to renew those New Year's goals halfway in through the year. And so if you want even more support on this, I have linked my Motivation Super Pack for writers down below. So this goes even further with this wonderful journaling session because it educates you on how we get motivated to write, how we really can commit and finish a regular writing practice because of our core motivators. And then the other side, I've just updated this core motivation packet for writers because I'm also including how to turn setbacks into stories. If something bad happens, use that emotion, use that material in your writing. As Nora Ephron said, everything is copy, everything can go into the book. Your book can be your therapy. And then I've also included the map through burnout. And so this is something I created in December for anybody who's starting to feel, oh my goodness, I've been going hard for too long. I need to find a map out of burnout. And so I have the map out of burnout. All of this is included together in the free Motivation Super Pack, and that's available for you down below. And then also, if you want support on achieving your big writing dreams while getting feedback and having somebody dive into your manuscript with you, read your pages, help you structure, help you know how to pitch, how to sell, how to publish, etc. Then I also have linked down below a free coaching session, a 20-minute consultation where you can talk with me. And I love educating people on the basics. So no matter what you decide to do from here, I'd love to get to know you and meet some more people in this community. So just book a free session down below. So much love. Subscribe to the channel because every single Friday I'm putting out a new educational or motivational video about writing. And I'm just so grateful to have you in this community. Talk soon. Ciao for now.